I know I'm letting my partner down. It can be frustrating for the person. So first, slow down and get out of your head as much as you can. Focus on the sensation. Remember that this isn't goal oriented. When you stay in the present and focus on the sensations, you're more likely to orgasm anyway. So stop thinking like, why is it taking so long? What's wrong with me?
Stop thinking.
Yeah. So sometimes shifting positions can be helpful, and just learning what it really takes, and also making sure that there's not, some people have like an idiosyncratic masturbatory style, which means that they're used to, getting, having an orgasm in their same way. And sometimes a partner can't mimic that.
Right.
So pay attention to what does it for you, and maybe take a little break or change it up a little bit so that it is something your partner could mimic. Also, show your partner what you enjoy. But stay out of your head and stop focusing on the orgasm, and more focused on having pleasurable sexual experiences with the with or without a partner.
Right.
Orgasm isn't a deadline. It's not, doesn't have to be the goal. It's a bonus. It's enjoyable. But it can feel just as good without having one.
Absolutely. And like you said about masturbating one way and then having a partnered sex can be very, very different. So you have to change it up, which is like why I gave the example of using lube. Sometimes I'll tell people, you're probably masturbating either sitting or laying down on your back, facing a TV, watching porn, or your phone. Turn the porn off, turn, your position, go like in missionary, masturbate that way, simulate how you're going to have sex. So that way you're kind of training your brain a little bit to different positions, different things could be very, very helpful. And that's, I guess, focusing. Same thing with men, is turning that off and focusing on the pleasure aspect to be able to get into the mindset.
Yes.
So when you have men or women, when they struggle to have orgasms, a lot of times there's a lot of shame involved. And so how do we keep that confidence up, and how do we start that conversation with our partner to say, listen, it's not you. I mean, it seems so easy for me to just say, oh, you just say it. But so many people have a hard time just saying it. So how do we get that conversation going?
Yeah, I mean, being honest. I mean, first, it's important that
Just
you feel
saying it.
comfortable, right? Feel comfortable with the partner to be able to say that, right? Like there's a lot of pressure, and you can acknowledge it together. And again, just go back to the basics. Go back to having fun, laughing, making out, touching. Working on getting out of your head. Uh, Communicate with your partner. Don't be dismissive. I think that's really important. Um, Being able to feel connected and vulnerable will help lead to pleasure and orgasm.
Absolutely. And speaking of pleasure, what are some helpful tips that we could offer the men to feel better with orgasm or masturbation, besides trying it on their own in different positions and things like that?
First, get out of your head. So, performance anxiety, stress, self-doubt, past experiences can impact arousal and orgasm. So, again, try to just take a step back and get out of your head, shift from performance to presence, right? So focus on connection, sensual touch, anything that grounds you in the moment.